So you told me systems.
Power generators,
All right.
ERCOT, PUCT, fuel supply, and transmission and distribution owners. And
Right.
I believe all of them are going to
Thank
be having a conversation with you today.
Now, sir, tell me from Irving, Texas, who you think's at fault?
I think I've been saying it, I don't know, but, you know, I definitely think we have a part of that as power generators. I don't think that anybody can say we perform perfectly. I think gas producers, you know, and, you know, look, I know everybody wants to play, you know, who's at blame. You know, I look at this as who can improve. You know, nobody's perfect, and I know we live in a society now that wants to blame people all the time. That's not my game. What I'm trying to point out to you is where the areas of weakness are in the overall system. And I know you don't like systems, but that's too bad. That's what it is.
Let me interrupt you, sir.
So I said producers.
That sounds like a lawyer talk.
I'm no lawyer, and I didn't even talk to a lawyer. I didn't even talk to a lawyer.
Specifically who's responsible.
I didn't
That is
even talk to a
legit
lawyer
question.
before I came here. I came here at my own free will to tell you guys what I see. I've already said this. Producers, I think the gas processing plants could have been winterized. You know, I think the gas companies basically increased prices arbitrarily and took a bunch of money out of the system. You want to know who the people are? I said ERCOT. I've already said this before. You cannot say ERCOT without saying the PUC because the PUC has oversight. So, you know, there's plenty of blame to go around. It doesn't do anything to solve anything, but I mean, I've already said this. I mean, I think the thing was a colossal failure. It's the only way you get to where we got. This many people out for that many days doesn't happen with one person at fault.
I got you, but everybody's listening. Everybody says, let's go forward. You can't go forward until you fix the car. Now let's go to the next area. The next question I get is, who turned my power off? I want to know who did that. Why is one side of the street lit up and the other side of the street is in pain and suffering for 3 to 4 days? Now, that may not be you. I want you to tell me who did it.
NRG is a retail electric provider and a power generator. We don't choose who is on a power outage. ERCOT is responsible for balancing the system. When they need to cut load, they tell the transmission and distribution utilities. They send the instruction in how much load they need, and the TDUs are responsible for going through the power outages.
Okay, now, sir, you're saying you didn't turn my residents' power off, correct?
Correct.
ERCOT didn't do that either, correct?
No, it was Encore,
They send the
CenterPoint,
instruction.
and AEP.
Correct. Is the transmission and distribution utilities, yes.
So all I'm asking you is, I'm trying to get to the question. What I'm hearing you is you did not do it. ERCOT did not do it. So I'm asking you, sir, who did it?
The TDUs, at the request of ERCOT. ERCOT needs to balance the system, and they need to say, you need to shed load this
Just
much.
need names. So, Mr. Morgan, you're saying that's AEP?
Well, the
CenterPoint?
transmission distribution orders, I think it's on, and we all know it's Encore, it's CenterPoint, and AEP. But I agree with Mauricio. What happened is ERCOT said we can only maintain so much demand. They said, I need you guys to basically curtail demand. And so because they're the ones that actually physically do it, but that's what happened.
I understand. But the public, don't you think, needs to know, if I have a grandmother, a widower,
Yes.
that they're going to be chosen to turn off and the neighbors across the street aren't? Shouldn't we tell the public? Don't you both agree with that?
I think,
Yes.
and it may
Yes.
be, but that ought to
Thank
be,
you.
those protocols ought to be published. I mean, and you
Thank
know
you.
what? I've been asking this question. I don't know about Mauricio, but I'm trying to figure out what happened. I don't know what happened. They locked the system down with a certain allocation of demand. I have no idea why they did what they did, and I haven't gotten an answer yet. It affects me and my company. So I'd like everybody to know.
I think let me tell you, you both answered that one, and I appreciate that. Now, let me tell you a comment, and then I'm going to ask you some questions. I think the utility groups have done an awful awful job communicating, especially to the legislature. Do you two know who has jurisdiction in the Texas House of Representatives over your industry? Do either of you know?
I mean, in the House, I think we're looking at it right here.
State Affairs, if you look under jurisdiction, Mr. Goldman has another section. Do you know how many of your industry made an effort to talk to legislators? Now, this isn't going to just apply to you. I'm sending a message for all our panelists. Do you approve of somebody that says in a group you've mentioned, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have time because I've been busy to meet with you? That was as late as yesterday, members. Do you approve of agencies or utility groups saying that at a time like this?
You want me to answer that?
Yes.
First of all, I know for a fact that wasn't my company, and two, no, I don't. And I have made myself available and our people throughout this entire process, and I will continue to do so.
But you don't approve of that sort of comment?
Absolutely not.
All right, Mr. Goodyear.
No, I don't. I actually had the opportunity to speak with many of the representatives here over the past couple of days.
Well, and what do you two think about one of your industries, not you two, that communicates that, oh, we're all filled up? I guess maybe just the coast was in the back burner position. We're all filled up, but you can come talk to us at this point in time. I thought the utility industry should come to the public, to the legislature. Do you approve of that type of communication?
No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good. The reason I understand you all are getting the heat because you're the front burner one. We haven't had any time to chew on anybody else, but we plan to. I have a lot. My view is from that great movie. We've had a failure to communicate.
Yeah.
And we've had a huge failure to communicate. And I think what has happened to the legislative disrespect by this utility industry needs to be called out. And I think the public needs answers. So I'm going to ask you two, I've made my point, but I plan to come back, Mr. Chairman. I want to make this point. I'm going to make a request one to you all and everybody out here listening. Please develop a better communication plan, legislatively and public. And by the way, I appreciate both your honesty on turning off the power of people, that it wasn't your responsibility and the public should know and can be told. Second, yeah, I know we're all talking about the blame game, but I hate to tell you, we are in the blame game.
I know.
And until we get the blame, I always find that everybody finds religion after the problem occurred. I'd like you to find religion before the problem occurs. So my point to you is this. Let's come up with you having proposals to us.
Okay.
And I ask both of you to do that. And the third, what is your relationship with the Public Utility Commission? What are the power agencies? What is your relationship with that agency?
They're
They
regulators.
oversee,
Yeah.
Do they oversee you all?
they oversee ERCOT and the power generation industry.
Does the legislature oversee them?
Well,
Do
you
you
know,
know-
the PUC,
Yes.
as you know, the commission is appointed by the governor.
Well, but does the legislature oversee them and
Yeah,
do an
sure.
appropriation?
Yes.
Sure they do, yes.
Do you know, I've only been in the legislature since 1989 before Donna Howard was born. I have been on state affairs 3 times. I am a coastal rep, but I believe in the state of Texas. I've hardly heard from the PUC. I just want you to know when you make these comments, some of us never hear from them.
Yeah.
Final comment, which the members know here. Don't talk about hurricanes to me. This was a snow king. But I've lived in my area And I want you two to know this, because, sir, you have my area. You may not know it.
No, I know.
I don't think you knew it earlier in the week in my conversation. But Central Power and Light, CPL retail that you picked up in January, you now have. I had Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Hannah. I came to this legislature because I had people living in tents on the beach. I never saw the utility industry come out, tell us how warm and fuzzy and how everything does, and it's embarrassing. And it hurts people. And you know what? Right now, my folks haven't recovered. We have dead marine life. We have dead sea life. And as our vice chair pointed out, we're now finding human life. So one lesson we could learn is care for the human beings. But we need to do it before than after. And I will ask you again, I look forward to visiting with you, and this not be the last day we talk. Thank you.
Look forward.
Thank you.
Members, just a reminder, we are getting through all the questions we can. When you do punch your button, just a reminder that your microphones are live, so just be aware of that. Chair recognizes Representative Darby.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, with all due respect to the process, you know, there is a lot of blame, but I'm not going to point any. If we want to look for blame, we could look to this building and the folks that occupy these seats, both now and the years predecessors to us. So my questions are going to relate to how do we fix it, okay? And so I guess currently electric utility power generation companies are limited to 20% of the overall capacity. So if we're going to create resiliency and reserve capacity, how do you as generators increase your production capabilities, your power generation capabilities, but yet comply with the 20% reduction or limitation that we've put on you? So how are we going to do that?
There is as I said, there is an opportunity by the legislature to define what that level of reserve margin we should have. Once that is done, then